Good morning friends. Welcome to Parnika's Tutorials YouTube channel. In this video, I want to discuss about cell sort algorithm with an example. Cell sort is a modification to the insertion sort. In the one of the earlier videos, I have discussed about the insertion sort. How we have performed the insertion sort? The array we have divided into two sub-arrays. One is the sorted sub-array and another one is the unsorted sub-array. In the unsorted subarray, the first element we have taken and we have placed in the appropriate position in the sorted subarray. So that is the process of the insertion sort. If you did not watch my earlier video or if you don't know the insertion sort algorithm, I request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video for better understanding. So let me discuss about how the cell sort algorithm will work with an example. In this video, I want to arrange the elements in the increasing order so that you will understand the cell sort procedure in a better way. So I have taken some 10 elements. All these 10 elements I want to arrange them in the increasing order. Now you can ask me, sir, what is the modification in the cell sort as compared to the insertion sort? Here we will not compare with the adjacent elements. We will compare the elements which are in the gap of some value. Suppose let's take that if I say gap is equal to 3. Now 79 I will compare with 1, 2, 3. So I will compare the 79 with 11. Now 79 is greater than 11. So they are not in the appropriate position. Now I will swap them. So we are not comparing with the adjacent element. We are comparing the elements which are in the gap of some value. Now you can ask me, sir, how can I compute the gap? Initial gap, or let's take that gap 1 is equal to n by 2 floor. Now you can ask me, what is this n? N is the number of elements in the array. N is the number of elements in the array. Now already I said that I have considered the 10 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So gap 1 is equal to 10 by 2 floor, which is equal to 5. Now gap 2 is equal to previous gap, which is nothing but gap 1 by 2 of the floor. Okay, so now if you consider here 5 by 2, which is equal to 2. Okay, now gap 3 is equal to gap 2, previous gap, which is gap 2 by 2 of the floor, which is equal to 2 by 2 floor, which is equal to 1. So we will continue this procedure, or in each pass, in the first pass we will take the gap 1. In the second pass we will take the gap 2. In pass 3 we will take the gap 3. Now how far we will continue? Till the gap is equal to 1. So I hope you have understood how can I compute the gap for each pass. Now let me take this example and let me discuss the cell sort algorithm. Okay, now what is the initial gap? Gap is equal to 5. Gap 1 is equal to 5. So 79 is currently here, will be compared with the element which is in the distance of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 79 will be compared with 23. Now if you take that, 79 is greater than 23. So they are not in the appropriate position because I want to arrange the elements in the increasing order. If I do in the increasing order, 23 should come first, then 79 should come. But here it is 79 and 23. So what should I do? I have to swap them. If I swap, I will get 23, 64, 16, 11, 31, 79, and the remaining elements will be as it is. 81, 26, 75 and 57. Now what I will do? I will increment the pointer. So now it will be 64. Okay, now 64 will be compared with the elements which are with the gap of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 64 will be compared with 84. So 64 is less than 81. So they are in the appropriate position. So I no need to swap them. Now next element need to be compared as 16 and 26. Okay, now 16 is less than 26, so I can say that they are in the appropriate position. I no need to perform any swapping. Now I will compare 11 with 75. Am I right or wrong? So now 11 and 75, they are in the appropriate position. How can I say 11 is less than 75? If this element is greater than this element, then only we need to perform the swapping. Now I will compare 31 with 57. Now 31 is less than 57, so I can say that they are in the appropriate position. Okay, so no need to perform the swapping. And remember one important point. You should compare this element 31 with the gap of 557 to the forward direction and also to the backward direction. But till now, why I have not discussed this? Suppose if you see that gap 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is no element with the gap 5. So that's why I have not compared. But when we reduce the gap to next case, in the next pass gap will be 2, then you need to compare the element in the forward direction and also in the backward direction. So if I increase the pointer, now it will be 79 and the element here I need to compare, but there is no element here, so I can stop the process and I can say that after pass 1, after first pass, I got the elements in this order. So with gap 5 on the input, if I perform the cell sort, I got these elements. Now I need to reduce the gap. How can I reduce? Previous gap is 5. So 5 by 2, I need to apply the floor. So 5 by 2 floor is nothing but 2 only. So now I need to reduce the gap as equal to 2 and I have to perform the second pass on the cell sort. So now what I will do? I will compare 23 with the element of gap 2, 1, 2. So 23 you need to compare with 16. Now 23 is greater than 16, so I need to swap them. So if I swap, it will be 16, 64, 23, 11, 31, 79, 81, 26, 75, 57. Okay. Now 64 you need to compare with 11. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Now 64 if I compare with 11, 64 is greater than 11. So I need to perform them swapping. So it will be 16, 11, 23, 64, 31, 79, 81, 26, 75 and 57. Now I need to compare 23 with 31. Now 23 and 31 is in the appropriate position. How can I say 23 is less than 31? So I no need to perform the swapping. And similarly you need to look at the backward direction also. Now if you look at it, 23 with a gap 2 is 16. Now 16 is less than 23, so I no need to perform any swapping. So when the gap is 2 or gap is less, you need to look at in the backward direction also. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? If the element is there in the backward direction also, you need to look at it. Okay. Now it will be compared with 64 and 79. Now 64 is less than 79. I no need to perform any swapping. And if you consider that 11 and 64, if I compare, 11 is less than 64, so I no need to perform any swapping. Now I will compare 31 with 81. Now 31 is less than 81, so I no need to perform any swapping. And 31 I will compare with 23. 23 is less than 31. Again I no need to perform any swapping. Okay. Now 79 I will compare with 26. Now 79 is greater than 26. So if I perform the sorting, it will be 16, 11, 23, 64, 31, 26, 81, 79, 75, and 57. Now you got the 26 here. Now you need to compare this element with an element of gap 2 in the backward direction also. So 26 you will compare with 64. Now what is happened? 64 is greater than 26. So they are not in the appropriate position. So what should I do? I need to swap 64 and 26. It will be 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 64, 81, 79, 75, and 56. Now 26 you need to compare with 11. Okay. Now 26 and 11 if I compare, they are in the appropriate position. How I can say 11 is less than 26? So I no need to perform any swapping. So what is the elements we have compared? 79 I have compared with 26 and I have swapped and I got 26 and 79. Now 26 I compared with 64. Again I found that they are not in the appropriate positions. So I have performed the swapping. I got 26 with 64 and again I compared 26 with 11 and they are in the appropriate position. So I have left as it is. So now what should I do? I need to compare 81 because here it was 79. Now if I have to increment, it will be 81. Need to compare with 75. Now if I compare 81 and 75, 81 is greater than 75. So I need to swap them. Is it clear? If I swap, it will be 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 64, 75, 79, 81 and 57. Now 75 came here. Now 75 we need to be compared with whom? Gap 2. So 64 and 31 in the backward direction. So 31 and 75 need to compare. Now 31 is less than 75. So I no need to perform any swapping. If I does not performing swapping, obviously 31 is less than 23. Already we have checked it. If it is so, we will leave it. So you need to check in the backward direction. Now 23 and 16, again you will check. Now 16 is less than 23, so no problem. So that is the way you need to look at in the backward direction and also in the forward direction. So we have compared 81 with 75. Now I need to compare 79 with 57. If I compare 79 and 57, 79 is greater than 57. Am I right or wrong? So I need to swap them. If I swap them, it will be 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 64, 75, 57, 81 and 79. Am I right or wrong? Now 57 I need to compare with 64. Why? Because it is gap is equal to 2. Now 64 is greater than 57. So again I need to perform the swapping. So it will be 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 57, 75, 64, 81, 79. Now 57 you need to compare with 26. 26 is less than 57. I no need to perform any swapping. So we have compared 79 and 57. Now you need to increment, it will be 81 and there is no element here. So we can stop this process and we can say that after pass 2, I got the elements as 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 57, 75, 64, 81 and 79. Now what I will do in pass 3, gap will be equal to 2 by 2 of floor. which is equal to 1. So now you need to perform the comparison with a gap of 1. Now let me see how it will happen. So let me erase this one. I hope you have noted down. If you did not note down this entire process, I request you to note down this one. So after pass 2, I got the elements as 16, 11, 23, 26, 31, 57, 75, 64, 81 and 79. Now let me discuss the pass 3 with gap is equal to 1. Okay, now let me check it. What is the gap 1? Now 16 I need to compare with 11. Am I right or wrong? 16 I need to compare with 11. Now 16 is greater than 11. So I need to swap them. So if I swap, I will get 11, 16, okay, 11, 16, 23, 26, 31, 57. Give me 1 minute. So if I swap, I will get 11, 16, 23, 26, 31, 57, 75, 64, 81, 79. Okay. So I compared 16 with 11 and 16 is greater than 11. So I have swapped. So 11 and 16. Now 11 need to be compared in the backward direction also. But there is no element in the backward direction. So we did not compare. Now what I need to compare? 16 I need to compare with 23. Now 16 is less than 23, so I no need to perform any swapping. And similarly, if I compare in the backward direction, 11 is less than 16, so I no need to compare. Now what I will do? I will compare. Let me write here properly. 23 is there, 26 is there. Okay, is it clear? Now 23 I will compare with 26. Okay, now 23 is less than 26, so I no need to perform any swapping. If I look in the backward direction also, 16 is less than 23, I no need to perform any swapping. Now 26 and 31 if I compare, they are in the appropriate position because 26 is less than 31. If I look in the backward direction, already we have looked, 23 is less than 26, so no problem. Now 31 and 57, 31 is less than 57, I no need to perform any swapping. And if I look in the backward direction, 26 is less than 31, so no need to compare. Now 57 and 75, 57 is less than 75, so no need to perform swapping. If you look at in the backward direction also, no problem. 75 and 64, now you look at it. 75 is there and 64 is there. 75 is greater than 64. Now what you need to do? You need to perform the swapping. If you perform swapping, it will be 11, 16, 23, 26, 31, 57, 64, 75, 81 and 79. Now 64 you need to compare with 57. Now 57 is less than 64, you no need to perform any swapping. Okay. Now what you need to do? You need to compare 75 with 81. 75 is less than 81, so we no need to perform any swapping. Now what I will do? 81 I will compare with 79. Now 81 is greater than 79, so obviously I need to perform the swapping. If I perform the swapping, I will get 11, 16, 23, 26, 31, 57, 64, 75, 79 and 81. Now if I compare 79 and 75, 75 is less than 79, so I no need to perform again a swapping. So what is the thing you need to look at is, if you are looking at 31 with 64, gap is equal to 2, then 31 you need to compare with 23 in the backward direction also. This is very important. Lot of people will compare with the forward direction and they will forget to compare with the backward direction. Is it clear? Now 79 and 81 came in the problem. Now if I increment 81 and there is no element here, so I no need to perform any comparison here. So this is the final procedure of the pass 3. Okay, so you can stop up to pass 3. Why? Because now the gap is equal to 1. Okay, once the gap is reached to 1, you can stop the process and you can see the elements are already in the sorting order. We have given the input as 79, 64, 16, 11 like that, and I got the elements as 11, 16, 23, 26, 31, 57, 64, 75, 79 and 81. So we have arranged the elements in the increasing order using the cell sort. I hope you have understood how I perform the cell sort. If you still did not understand the concept, don't worry, in the next video I will take another example and I will explain the cell sort, because a lot of people will confuse with the cell sort procedure. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.